Unfortunately, internet censorship across the globe has taken a turn for the worst today, boys. There is a lot to get into. Google and Apple to enforce age verification in Texas starting in 2026. By the way, this is for every single app on the App Store they're going to have you age verify for. That means map, weather app, any kind of app on the App Store in Texas, they are going to make you age verify for, potentially putting all of your personal information at risk like we saw with Discord. It's insane. Another thing, the UK's Ofcom, the Labour Party, UK Stalin, the absolute dictator, authoritarian. Of course, he says that he can sue and fine 4chan, which is an American company on American soil, because he says that Americans have no rights under American law, under the American free speech law. And that's why 4chan should have to concede to the Labour Party and agree with their whole digital ID scam. But first and foremost, make sure you like the video and subscribe. I'll keep you updated on all of it. Now, censorship in the US. This is not something I thought I would be talking about. This is insane. It is ridiculous. Nowhere does the US or Western society at all, at large, even stand for censorship, age verification, and this kind of absolute betrayal to personal and private information. It's ridiculous, and Apple and Google, believe it or not, are being forced into it by the Texas Senate, which voted and passed this through. SB 2420. Absolutely insane law name, by the way. But as you can see here, they're being forced to comply. Tech giants Apple and Google have confirmed they will comply with Texas's newly passed age verification law. Believe it or not, this is digital ID wrapped up in some kind of lie of protect the kids yet again. But both companies warn that doing so will come at the cost of user privacy. It absolutely will. We saw it with Discord. Discord, by the way, deleted all of the information that they had for the age verification scam, but it just so turned out that the third-party company that they used for the age verification system didn't. Of course they didn't. And that third-party company got hacked, and all of your personal information on Discord just got leaked. Absolutely insane security risk. It's so dangerous. The digital ID is an absolute failure. It is a failure by now. We all know that it is. The legislation known as SB 2420 is scheduled to take effect on January 1st, 2026. So literally not that long from now. Literally not that long from now. A few months from now, this will take effect, and every single app on the App Store will require age verification from you if you are in Texas. Underneath this law, app marketplaces and developers will be required to implement strict age assurance mechanisms that, according to Apple, will force the collection of personal data even for basic app downloads. So your maps, your Google Maps, literally it's so insane to me that this is actually coming to US soil. The land of freedom and opportunity is now the land of oppression underneath the guise of quote unquote protect the kids, the whole protect the kids argument. How about you just parent your children better and make sure they're not going on these dangerous sites, and don't give your child underneath the age of 16 a freaking cell phone. I didn't have a cell phone until I was 16. This is insane. Beginning January 1st, 2026, a new state law in Texas introduces age assurance requirements for app marketplaces and developers. While we share the goal of strengthening kids' online safety, no, they freaking don't, we are concerned that SB 420 impacts the privacy of users by requiring the collection of sensitive, personal, identifiable information to download any app at all. Any app. This is ridiculous. That means Google Maps, any kind of maps app, any weather app, they're going to force you to give up all of your personal information so you can find out the weather on your freaking Apple phone. And guess what? I'm calling it now. You write this down. Paper Bag Boy is calling it now. They are going to get this hacked. It is going to get hacked, and all of the personal information is going to get sent out there. Of course it is, because you are the mind. All of your personal information is what they want. Even if a user simply wants to check the weather or sports scores, so you can't even check the sports scores. Text it. Look, the T app. We saw what happened with the T app with digital ID, by the way. They got hacked too. The Texas App Store Accountability Act sets out a mandatory age checks and specific restrictions on users under 18. Developers will be expected to make structural changes to how their apps function and handle user data to comply with the mandate. A lot of this is just not affordable. Now, it might be affordable to Apple and Google, but it wasn't to 4chan, and it barely was to Discord. And we saw with the T app and with Discord what happens whenever they try to, do this through some third-party system to protect people's information. Even then, it still gets out there. But look, to help developers adjust, Apple plans to update its existing declared age range API, introduce additional tools to allow apps to handle required consent procedures more easily. These changes are meant to align with the law while trying to reduce exposure of sensitive user data, Apple said. As we know, this is not going to work. We've seen it with Discord. As you see down here, they talk about it. Literally, Discord got hacked using a third-party system, and of course, all of the personal information got exposed. Now, Ofcom, the Labor Party, what we've seen with 4chan, who actually, stayed American and denied the Labor Party, denied the UK government, said, no, we're not going to enforce digital ID. We're not going to enforce age verification. As a matter of fact, we can't afford it, and we're never going to do it on UK soil because you can't force us to, because we are an American company and we are protected by freedom of speech laws. Now, the UK Labour government, Ofcom, has said that American freedom of speech laws do not protect an American company if they also operate in the UK. So 4chan was just fined another $26,000 yesterday. Absolutely insane. But UK Ofcom is threatening my clients and claiming sovereign immunity. In other words, Ofcom alleges that Americans have no rights under American law and the U.S. Constitution. At the same time, they seek the protection of U.S. law and the U.S. Constitution for themselves, and that they absolutely do. But as we know, they're thinking about maybe blocking 4chan from the UK government, from the UK entirely, from the UK internet, because they literally just can't get them to do what they want. So if you can't get a company to do what you want, well, why don't you just erase the entire company from the internet? Talk about dictator Starmer. Talk about UK Starmer, old North Korea Starmer, back at it again with his authoritarianism. Because of course he would, because this man hates freedom. But this is a comment I saw the other day that actually made me kind of, it actually showed. I saw this comment the other day and I liked it. I hear Ofcom is going to block 4chan from the UK internet if this American-based website doesn't pay fines that are going up daily. Fines for this free speech American website for not living by our fascist laws of non-free speech. I'm sure this will go down well with Trump. And honestly, I hope it doesn't. I hope Trump does something to actually protect 4chan. As we've seen in the past, he has spoken up about the UK trying to step over its bounds with American companies, and he's told them to back off before, but we have not seen him say anything on Texas, on the Texas digital ID law, and none of us want that either, okay? But if we go over here to 4chan, we can see what's actually going on. 4chan fined $26,000 for refusing to assess risks under the UK Online Safety Act. By the way, this is groundnews.com. As you can see, it shows the biases that these articles are leaning, whether they're high factuality, leaning center, leaning left, you know what I mean? You can check this out. I'll post a link down below. I've got a 40% off coupon, by the way, a code. I got a 40% off discount code down below for you to download the Vantage plan. I got that for y'all. So y'all can actually search these and find, you know, which the unbiased news sources. Okay, but they all have bias. Okay, let's not lie. All news sources have bias. So to make sure that you're the most informed, why don't you check that out? Let's keep going. 4chan fined $26,000 for refusing to assess risks under UK Online Safety Act. A battle over the United Kingdom's Online Safety Act heated up on Monday as UK regulator Ofcom fined the notorious image hosting board 4chan about $26,000 for failing to provide a risk assessment detailing the potential harms of illegal content hosted on its forum. So now they had to provide some risk assessment. As you guys can see, this is ridiculous. Ofcom is trying to find any reason that they can to fine 4chan for not adhering to their digital ID scam laws, their internet censorship laws, and 4chan is just not doing it. They're not agreeing to it, and so now they're trying to find any reason that they can to fine them every single day, calling it routine, calling it, you know, normal, and calling 4chan, you know, just saying that 4chan is breaking the law by not providing these risk assessment detailing potential harms. Okay, it's ridiculous, it's insane, and it's a bunch of jargon. Now the UK has overstepped its bounds clearly with a US-based company, but the US is clearly overstepping its bounds in Texas with this. I am not for digital ID. I am not for age verification. Parent your own children, okay? Other than censoring the entire globe, forcing every single adult to adhere to age verification laws and scams, okay, and maybe potentially putting all of their personal information at risk. All right, boys, make sure you like the video so that YouTube counts your view as a view, because they won't if you don't, and subscribe. That's going to be it for me. GG's. Peace. Oh, wait. I'll do it for you this one time. Paper or plastic, boys? I'm going to go with plastic. I think it's plastic as fuck, as a weak ass plastic, by the way. GG's, boys. Peace.